وكذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا وإنك لتهدي إلى صراط مستقيم صراط الله الذي له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض ألا إلى الله تصير الأمور.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the program Muslims in America. The religion of Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world, and the majority of that growth is taking place right here in the United States of America. According to most reliable estimates, there are more than 7 million Muslims living here in the United States of America. Muslims have become vital and valuable assets to the American society. So please join me as I travel around the USA and introduce you to a few of the many Muslims in America.
And welcome back to the program, Muslims in America. We've traveled around the United States of America, and we've come to one of the most remote states in the United States, the state of Alaska. And we're in the city of Anchorage. And we're here meeting with some of the Muslim families and Muslim individuals here to let you meet some of the Muslims in America who are spread out across this whole country. So I'm joined today with Brother Amir Ali. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
And welcome to the program, and thank you for giving us some of your time.
Absolutely.
And really myself and my viewers, we are really excited to know that Islam is spreading everywhere, even here to one of the remote locations here in the United States, which is Anchorage, Alaska. Amir, before we begin, just tell us a bit about yourself and how you became Muslim.
Sure. I was actually born into Islam, alhamdulillah. My father is Egyptian, and my mother is a Christian. So I did grow up in a bi-religious household. Alhamdulillah, I was a born Muslim, but I think with that diversity.
But let me ask you grew up in a bi-religional household. When did you in your life make a decision that I am Muslim?
Sure is. Growing up with that diverse religion, it made me really want to go out and explore many different theologies and other faiths as well, just to see really why why I was born into Islam. Was there a certain reason that I was born into Islam? Is this the right choice for me? And I think that exposure to another religion earlier on kind of made me really go out and explore. Read up a little bit on Christianity and Catholicism, and also some other Eastern religions as well. And in the end, the answer is very easy. It was there all along, and I knew that alhamdulillah, Islam was the correct and the proper religion for me.
And how did your parents? Were your parents pushing you one way or the other, or did they leave you alone to explore on your own?
No, my father always raised me, Muslim, and he raised me with the beliefs and showed me how to pray at an early age, but. He was also fairly liberal in the sense of letting me become my own person and letting me explore for myself and coming to my own conclusions as well.
And how about your mother? How was she with it when she really realized that you are a Muslim man?
My mother, like many families here, was never very religious. She didn't attend church regularly. So she was very supportive of my idea, and she continues to be very supportive of the decisions I make and the paths I choose in life, and that's why alhamdulillah I have a great mother and father who regardless support me with whatever I.
And how about your mother? Do you have opportunities to speak to your mother about Islam? Or?
I do, and I feel as she gets older, they say age is wisdom, and as she gets older, I think she has been in her heart. I know she's been feeling a lot more, and I do know that she has tendencies to follow her heart, even though she may be slightly still a little bit blind, to the religion. But in time, we're slowly, not forcing, but slowly just trying to educate and answer her questions, and inshallah in the future, she will.
Tell me a bit about your educational background and your vocation.
Sure. I'm from New York. I attended school.
Now you say you're
through
from New York, and also I'm from New York.
Okay.
But how did you come to be here in
in Alaska here? There's something about Alaska here. The geography up here, the terrain, the weather, the location itself. It's so far from the rest of the United States.
But I think you have to mention to our viewers how you see the geography and the terrain.
Oh, sure. I'm a pilot. I work as a pilot. I'm a flight instructor over one of the local airports here. And the flying up here is unlike anywhere else in the world, I'm convinced. The mountain ranges, the very, very isolated areas, the unpopulated areas, just endless miles of snow, mountains, and wilderness. And amongst that wilderness, you have all different types of nature, animals, bears, moose, just everything, and it all kind of interacts up here in Anchorage.
And when you're flying around and you see these things and take it in, does it make you to think about Allah?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Sometimes and not just in the airplane, but sometimes just driving out here in remote areas, you see something and you just say, wow, Allah, it's just such a, only this beauty can only be from one source, and you kind of know that is from Allah.
And tell me about being a pilot and being a Muslim. Do you encounter any difficulties as, you have, your name is Amir Ali, and you're a Muslim pilot? I mean, and did you fly in New York before you came here?
I did, yes, I did fly in New York. I was actually flying out in Long Island, during September 11th. I was in Long Island, and there was a lot of questions, a lot of confusion during that time. But overall, I'd say it was not. I had never really felt any threats or any really negative. I'm sure there was a few little isolated incidents, but that's all has to do with basically ignorance and amongst some people. But I think on the majority, everyone was very supportive, and everyone treated me very well. Even after moving here and applying as a position at the airport as a flight instructor here. After interviewing and getting to know some of the people there, they hired me right off the bat, and I like to think that the hiring process is based on ability rather than religious or religious preference, and everyone's been very supportive up here.
And I've come with Brother Amir to Merrill Airfield, and he's a pilot, and he's going to take us in this small Cessna plane, and we're going to fly close to the mountains and go up near one of the big glaciers here. So Brother Amir, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. How you doing, brother?
Fine. So tell us a bit about what we're going to do and what we're going to see.
Sure. We're going to take off out of Merrill Field here and head northwest about 50 miles up to the Knik Glacier. It's remnants of an ice age about 600,000 years ago, and just a solid blue fields of ice that extend about 25 miles up from about 9,000 feet down to sea level. And it's just one of those areas where you go to and you're out in the wilderness, you're out by yourself, and it's just one of the most amazing, beautiful places that you can see.
Does it really give you an opportunity to really reflect about the magnificence of Allah's creation?
Absolutely. Every time I'm up there and up in these areas and up in the wilderness, you always see something. Maybe if you're busy doing something in the airplane and you're not you're task saturated with other objects, something you'll just see something, and it just makes you stop, and it just clears your mind, and you just say, Allahu Akbar, what the magnificence and the beauty that you see out in that area there. And yeah, it happens quite often. Alhamdulillah.
Well, Amir, tell us about the plane. It's kind of a small plane. Most people don't really ride in planes this small. So tell us a bit about this type of aircraft we're going to be flying.
Sure. This is a Cessna 172. It's a P model. It has an occupancy of about 4 people. Not a very, very high payload. It's mostly used here for training and for sightseeing and to getting in and out of some of the smaller remote villages and communities out here in Alaska.
Just one important question: has a good safety record?
It has a great safety record. Very, very good for training. Very versatile airplane. It really it takes a lot of abuse, and with the abuse it takes, it just continues to perform excellently.
And if you are full, when it's full with fuel, how far can you go in this plane?
You have about 4 to 4.5 hours of flight time with full tanks, and your distance really depends on your ground speed, which has to do with the winds a lot. So really depending on the winds and what directions you're going, you can get quite a ways.
Now you say you instruct people on how to fly. How long does it take to teach someone to fly a plane like this?
If they're motivated and they're really serious about learning, around 4 to 5 months. I'd say that's if they're flying maybe twice a week and they're really studying on their own and they're motivated. they can get their license in 4 to 5 months, I'd say.
And what do you think your future is in the aviation industry?
Inshallah, I'm just focusing on instructing right now for the next 2 years, and we'll see, inshallah, in the future. I'm going to build up some more experience, some more hours, and hopefully I'll be able to do some sort of corporate flying in the future or air charter in the future, and we'll see what happens from there.
Inshallah. Okay, well, let's go.
Excellent. Let's hop in.
All right.
Great.
O mountains of Mecca, how did you mourn on the day that the beloved returned to his Lord? And up till the last breath escaped from his lips, he prayed that his ummah would find success. O mountains of Mecca, how will it feel when the earth shall quake and tremble with fear, and we shall be gathered together to stand in the court of Allah with
Yeah, let's do that. I'll let them know.
Final
ground, Cessna 541. Yes, sir, we'd like to amend our departure. Alhamdulillah, that we're here with one of our brothers in Islam, Amir, and he's taken out flying here in the Alaskan mountains on the outskirts of Anchorage. Alhamdulillah, it's really beautiful to do this, and it's beautiful to meet a Muslim who is doing this, and it's really something nice that even young people could get involved in, instead of so many other things which are just a waste of time. And how long have you been flying, Amir?
I've been flying for about 5 or 6 years now. I guess I started out in New York, and I moved up to Alaska here just a few months ago, and I got my flight instructor rating, and just started flying up here. And this is the reason I really love flying out here. It's just you don't get to see sights and beauty like this, many other places in the world. And alhamdulillah, I've been just having a great time, and thanking God for every moment that He lets us operate up.
How did you become interested in being a pilot and flying?
I've always, from a child, I've always been interested in flying. And in high school, I decided that it's something that I wanted to pursue. And after high school, I started taking some lessons, and just really got into it there. I can't say when it started. I would like to feel that I've been, since I was very young, I just kind of had that desire to fly with the birds.
And what are your plans in terms of flying?
I'm going to be up here in Alaska for at least another 2 or 3 years, and I'm going to build up some hours in the industry that experiences all your logged hours. And I'm going to finish up my degree and see what opportunities are available for me in the future, inshallah.
Great. How am I doing? Am I a natural pilot?
I think you're doing really good. You're doing a lot better than some of my other students. However, I do see a cloud layer coming up here, so we're probably going to want to start to descend a little bit below that layer so we don't get in the clouds. So I'm just going to reduce a little bit of power for you, and you don't really have to point the nose down, but just kind of relieve a little bit of that back pressure, and the nose of the airplane should naturally drop down. And this looks like a really good descent. We're descending about 500 feet a minute, and that's giving us a nice gentle descent.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, looking down.
Oh yeah, you see this? My God, this is the times you ask me. This is when Allahu Akbar. This is just amazing.
Say that again, please, Amir. That's great. I'm recording sound on that. That's a lovely little statement.
You had asked me before, about the beauty out here, and this is one of those times. This is when you look back and just say, Allahu Akbar, the beauty that's present in this area, all through God's will. It's beautiful.
All right, and it's a shame that not many people get to see it. Like you say, to see it up close in person is something completely different.
And when you take customers or train students, do they ever have an occasion to ask you about Islam? And
they do. I do talk to a lot of youth and a lot of people my own age about the religion, and they ask me questions. They know I'm Muslim, and they ask me questions, and I ask them questions as well about their faith.
What kind of questions do you ask them?
It's amazing that, despite the fact that a lot of these people have been raised in Christian and Catholic households, they don't have any organized or any structural beliefs. And I believe that's just due to the recent dilution of the religion to kind of adapt to new social trends. And they don't have any hard religion. And I asked them, well, do you believe in God at all? And they say yes, they have that innate knowledge that there is a supreme being, there is a Allah, there is a God, but they just don't have that direction, that guidance to, lead them to, whatever they're feeling there. And even though their hearts are kind of pointing them in the right direction, their eyes are still blind to it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why we as Muslims in the community here really need to educate, answer their questions, and really kind of awaken that desire in them to pursue the right path here.
And what are some of the questions that they pose to you?
Mm-hmm. They pose, well, why are you Muslim? What type of, is it true that, the Islamic faith, breeds, hatred towards the non-Muslims in the world? They're very confused by the way the media portrays the religion, here in the United States. So I think they are looking for answers. They hear that the media is, kind of twisting a little bit the religion, and they want to get a better understanding from themselves by going directly to the source.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see are the main ways that the media is distorting the true picture of Islam?
It's hard to say exactly.
But do you think it's by films, by television programs?
Well, I think mostly by the news stories. So now, we know what's going on in the world right now. There's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of bloodshed, a lot of war going around throughout the world right now. And it is a very trying time for the Islam faith. And we need members in the community, especially here in Anchorage, being that there is that desire up here to learn about the religion. And we do need more people, and inshallah in the future we're going to have better resources, and we're pushing for a masjid here. Inshallah in the future we'll have those resources to facilitate that learning and that education to these desired people who want to learn about the religion.
Right. Is the community here? Do they have a project? Do they have a plan to have a masjid proper here?
Inshallah, we will in the future. Right now we have a musalli. Me coming from New York, there's very prominent big masjids there, and it's very easy to go out and to research and to find a lot of good resources to gather information. When I moved out here, it's hardly any. I was disappointed not to find a masjid here. I was surprised that we didn't have a masjid already, but alhamdulillah, we did have a musalli. So there was that desire in the community to organize and to congregate together. And there's so many different ethnic backgrounds and races and everyone that's gotten drawn into Anchorage here. And we really need that organization and that that means of bringing everyone together to support one another here. And we're hoping, we're raising money right now for a masjid. I know we have some money, but we're really hoping, in the future to build enough to where we can, inshallah, build a masjid here for us.
Inshallah. I think maybe in your work flying around Alaska, sometimes you get to fly to remote locations. Have you ever been in some remote locations and made salat and just thought to yourself, maybe you're the first person ever to make salat in that place?
Yes, you do go to these very, very remote places, and sometimes you're just walking, or if you see a nice peak to walk out to, as you're walking there, you wonder, wow, I think I'm the first person in time to actually step with my footprints to actually walk up to this spot. Mm-hmm. And if you can pray there and read a little bit of Quran, it's great to know that you're bringing you're bringing that the angels to those spots there, in the remote wilderness. And yeah, it is a great feeling.
Alhamdulillah.
Mountains of Mecca, what can you say of the day that Abraham passed your way, and he was instructed by God to build a house of peace where people will pray, and they will come on every lean camel to glorify Allah. O mountains of Mecca, what can you tell of the day that stones from the sky fell, destroying an army determined to break the house of Allah that Abraham built? O mountains of Mecca, how was the dawn on the day that my prophet Muhammad was born? How did it feel knowing he was to be the last and most beloved of all, Rasul of Allah, Nabi of Allah? O mountains of Mecca, you were there when the Prophet Muhammad climbed down in despair. Engraved in his heart were the words of his Lord to all of mankind. This was his call: La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Oh people, praise only Allah, glorify Allah. O mountains of Mecca, how did you mourn on the day that the beloved returned to his Lord? And up till the last breath escaped from his lips, he prayed that his ummah would find success. O mountains of Mecca, how will it feel?
I just want to conclude here, and I'm asking all my guests, in your opinion, what do you think the future is for Islam in America?
I see a bright future for Islam here. It's growing. I think every day more and more people are awakened, and more people have this desire to question, what their beliefs are, and they're coming to Islam with these questions, and I have a very, very positive outlook. More and more every day, more and more people are converting to Islam, and more people are researching and joining our community here.
And thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Thank you, brother. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.